day it should be in your program to do something for some young boy, at least a black man. When I walk along the street in my neighborhood or out of my neighborhood, I'll stop a young boy if I see him on the street, and I'll have a copy of maybe 10 Little Niggas, or I'll have a copy of one of my books of poetry. I say, young man, can I speak to you a minute? And more or less, he's kind of standoffish right away because he might think I'm a cop or something like that. I said, I want to just talk to you about, I said, I don't want you to ever say a black man didn't pass you by one day and say something positive to you. You know, because that's what they'll say. Ain't nobody said nothing to me. I said, I don't want you. I was at a gas station one time, and a kid came up to me and wanted to pump my gas, you know. So I usually will let a kid pump my gas, and I'll give him $1. But he had on this very slick suit, nice sneakers and so forth. So he came to me and said, can I pump your gas? I said, no, you can't pump my gas, but if you stay here, I'll give you something in there because I want to tell you something. I said, number one, when you want to pump somebody gas, don't come and show them that you got enough clothes, beautiful clothes on. Because that's what I'm not giving you that $1 for, you know. I want you to use it, take home, help your mom, and things like this. And I said, secondly, I took out my 10 Little Niggas and I read it to him. And I gave him $1 plus a copy of the book called 10 Little Niggas. And he was astounded, you know. I said, now when you go home and you show your parents this book, tell them you met Dr. Deas, and he gave you this book, and $1, you know. And he was so amazed that I didn't have to, he didn't have to pump my gas. I gave him $1 just to listen to me. Because you give $1 to somebody, they'll listen to you. Yeah. You know, all you need is $10 bills. You want 10 in your pocket, you know.
You have 10 friends.
10 friends, man. 10 nice, crisp dollar bills. Stay a youngster on the street. Young man, come over here, you know. I want to give you something. Here's $1. You know, he's going to come like a pigeon comes for a little corn, you know. And say, I want to give you this $1. If you stand just for 30 seconds, let me speak to you, you know. And then give him a rap about how important he is to the community and this. That one incident will stay in his life forever.
We're not hearing that now.
You know,
we're not.
But a man did that to me one time. I was down shining shoes on Broadway in Brooklyn. I was a kid, you know. He's a white man. He had a beautiful clothes. It was in the kind of fall. And he came up to me. He said, "Did you get your ticket?" I said, "What ticket?" You know, I had shiny shoes for a nickel a shine. You know, $1 was a lot. He said, "Here's your ticket." He gave me a brand new $1 bill. Now, $1 bill in those days was a lot of money because a shine was 5 cents. I had to shine 20 pair of shoes to get $1. So all my friends who were shining shoes, I went up to them and I said, if I can get you $1, would you give me a quarter? So I took them over to the white man, and the white man said, did you get your ticket? And they got their $1, you know. It paid me a quarter because I got them to get that ticket, you know, that $1. But anyhow, I was using it as an entrepreneur. I was a bank at that time, you know, getting a quarter of the interest. But anyhow, but I'm just saying that.
Us now.
Huh?
That's what they're doing to us now.
That's what they're doing to us now, right? You know. But I'm just saying that suppose people of just little means had $10 that they were going to give to some charity or one of these rubber chicken dinners that they go to. I'm always after these rubber chicken dinners, you know, because I don't feel I should support these big old rubber, you know, these dinners that all you do is eat some hard vegetables, rubber chicken, and do the electric slide, you know. And so I said, man, take that $75, put in $75 bills, and you'll have 75 friends, new people on the street that say, just to a youngster, if you see him walking along, say, hey, youngster, come here. I just want to take 2 minutes of your time. Here's a rub. Just $1 for your time. $1, a couple of minutes, that's a lot of money now, you know. In fact, I used to tell my students, I say in Sunday school, if I start you off with a penny a day, double it every day for 30 days, would you come and work for me? So through their mathematical mind, they said, heck no, start off with a penny and work for you for 30 days and just double it. So they put it quickly in their heads up to 10 days, 1 cent, 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, 16 cents, 32 cents, 64 cents, $1.28. When you get to 30 days, you're making $1 million. $1 million. Put it on down. I tell all the people looking at this show, put it down on paper. Start off with 1 penny a day and double it for 30 days. You'll have $1 million.